Hello, and welcome to this episode of Carbonite Ultra U. In this episode, we're going to do the getting started, and we're going to start off with downloading Dashboard, getting connected to our Carbonite Ultra, and looking at a few of the basic menus and interacting with the switcher. Let's jump right into it. If you don't have the USB that came with the Carbonite Ultra, which would have the software already preloaded on it, that's okay. We can get Dashboard directly from the Ross Video website. Just come here, go to Support, Software Downloads, scroll down till you find Dashboard, click on the Dashboard link, and we're going to go ahead and we are going to download the current version of Dashboard. Now the Dashboard is finished downloading, we're going to click on it. And we're going to go ahead and click more info and run anyway. I'm going to go ahead and click next. I agree to the licensing terms. Going to go ahead and since I already had one installed, obviously it's got some of the elements already there. So we'll go ahead and install Dashboard. And Dashboard is now complete. So we click finish. We're going to click on the icon for Dashboard and in we come. Now, some of the other products I have already populated. And this is normal when you have things like plugins and components that we want to make sure that we do add those in. And yes, we want to restart now. The first thing we want to do is get connected to our Ultra. So we're going to click on the plus key. We're going to go to TCP IP. So when all are closed, it's the bottom on OpenGear Dashboard Connect, TCP IP, Dashboard Connect, or OpenGear device. And we're going to type in the IP address. Now, if you have not changed the IP yet, which is normal since you haven't connected, your default IP address is 192.168.0.123. Now in my case, I have already connected this unit and I have changed the IP address to the current IP that I have. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to detect information. It already picks up the Carbonite and all of it. So we're going to go ahead and hit finish and it will add our Carbonite Ultra into the tree view. Now that it's loaded in, we see the icon, we have the node connector so we can see all of the dedicated nodes that we can launch. So let's go ahead and launch the configuration page. Now under the configuration menu, we have all kinds of extra tabs, including being able to go full screen. So we hide the menu bars. Now our basic tab at the bottom, this is our menu bar. So system menu, reference, inputs, outputs. There's a lot of submenus in here and we will go back and review these at a later time in other episodes as we break down these elements. For this, we just want to focus on the getting started. How do we get connected and how do we set up our network? So we're going to jump to the network tab and you'll see we have our switcher name. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to rename our switcher because we want this to be our Carb Ultra. Now you may have a different name for the application, maybe you have multiple switchers. This is something that you'll decide you want. And then that way it'll auto-populate the names inside of Dashboard. Now, if you haven't yet changed your IP address, you can click on the edit. And here, instead of DHCP where it'll pick it up automatically from the network, you could change to static. And now under static, we could be assigning and changing that default that it comes from the factory with. So normally from the factory, it's a static IP address of 192.168.0.123. Here I can come in, I can change my IP address, my subnet mask, and my gateway and hit update. Now if we update this, it will request a confirmation and acknowledgement that it is going to reboot. So upon updating, it's going to reboot and it is going to relaunch after it has changed those Linux settings. Note that these settings are not stored with your show files. So these are hardware-based settings that when you change it, it's stored in the flash of the unit. So it will, on reboots, always come up with those settings, but you don't have to worry that loading settings from another switcher is going to affect your network settings. Those have no implication on anything on this page. We now have connected our system. We now have access to our system inside of Dashboard. And what you can see with Dashboard is you have some dedicated pages for individual views. So just like I've got my configuration, I can go to my Live Assist, and these are tabs or pages of the menu which give you full screen results of that menu. We have one extra page which is called the panel. When you don't have a physical control surface, or if you're looking to add additional user station that will be done through a virtual panel only, then we come here to our soft panel or panel node. When you launch that panel node, it will give you a representation of a single ME row switcher. Now you want to press Shift F11, or you want to click on the menu navigation bar and go to full screen. To run this, you do require a minimum of 1920 by 1080 so that you get that pixel accurate representation. And in this, you have a section over here, which is the virtual panel menu. It's also the row delegation, so picking between any of your MEs and any of your mini MEs, as well as your keyer delegation, aux bus, and getting to the positioner. So for all of this part, it helps to delegate and interacts with the lower section. So essentially an L-bar type configuration of the control. The right upper section is going to be our menu navigation. This allows us to keep ourselves within the user interface of the virtual panel and not have to tab out. So from here, I can also still access our configuration menu, and I can get to all of those additional menus. I can get to the audio mixer page. I can get to the Live Assist page. I can get to the status page. So all these pages are still accessible from here inside of the virtual panel. And for a lot of people, this is the first place that we're going to start from. So I think at this point, we've gotten through the getting started. We've downloaded Dashboard. We've got it connected to our switcher. We've assigned our IP address as we've needed to. And we've done the first part of the acclimation to what the switcher's doing. So come back with us in the next episode when we're going to go deeper into the menu system and menu structure of the Carbonite Ultra. As always, if you have any suggestions, any requests, any ideas of Carbonite or Acuity or Graphite videos that you would like to see us make here on the U channel, please send those to switchers@rossvideo.com and we'll try to get those up as soon as we can. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.